Good morning, this is Sherl Rose from the Tipton County Museum, and we're out here in the middle of our pollinator and herb garden this morning. Earlier in the year, we gave you a little tour, and we said we'd be back later. Well, this is prime butterfly season. So there are butterflies and bees all over everything out here. What I'm going to do today is point out some of the important plants that are good for the butterflies and for the bees and even for the hummingbirds. First of all, this beautiful, beautiful thing is Blackeyed Susan. It's a native plant. It has that beautiful sunny golden yellow that just attracts pollinators. It's also flat. If you'll notice, that is a landing pad for the butterflies. They can also sit on it on the mornings where it's cool and warm themselves up. And this started from a very small plant just a couple of years ago, and you can see how it's spread. But this is a great, great native plant to have in your gardens for the pollinators. This is our medicinal herb bed right here. They're kind of falling over because they're heavy. We had some rain this morning. But this is marshmallow. This is where the original marshmallows came from. You can take the roots of this plant, boil them, and you'll get a gelatinous substance, and you sweeten it and cut it up, and you got marshmallows. Of course, they don't make them that way anymore, but this is where the original marshmallows came from. And it's also, for those of you who are gardeners, you recognize it's in the hollyhock family. You can see it has the traditional hollyhock-shaped leaves, and the little seed pods look a lot like hollyhocks. Right here at the corner is a red salvia. This is Salvia granitica. I'm not sure what cultivar, but this was originally planted here, and the hummingbirds love it, and also the butterflies. Back behind me, this is medicinal herb comfrey. Comfrey is known as the healing herb. It's in a lot of natural healing salves and medicines. And earlier in the year when we saw it, it had beautiful blue blossoms. Well, now that's gone to seed, and it's spreading. That's one of the things you have to be cautious about when you're planting comfrey. It will spread, so you have to keep an eye on it. Next, we're going to step over here to the pollinator bed. This is where you have a lot of activity going on. This is lemon balm. It's in the mint family. So if you plant it, you want to really keep an eye on it because it will take over if allowed to. It's starting to bloom right now, and that's attracting the pollinators, especially bees. The bees really love it. Right in here, this small yellow and black flower, that is another Blackeyed Susan. It's just a miniature version. Right here is bee balm. Each one of these heads right here has petals that are single tubular flowers. Hummingbirds really, really love these, and also the bees too. Right here, this beautiful pink and yellow plant, this is Lantana, and this is a native Lantana that is perennial in this area. This is ham and eggs, and it's another great pollinator plant because these are tiny little individual flowers. And they're slightly tubular shaped, so that's great for the hummingbirds, great for the butterflies, and great for the bees. And this one is about 3 years old now. It dies all the way back to the ground, but then it'll come back out in the spring, and you can see how beautiful it is. Right here is coneflowers. This is Powwow Wildberry is the cultivar name, and this one stays low, whereas a lot of your, especially native coneflowers, will get really tall. But that's another great one. It's a landing pad for the butterflies, and also when the seed heads dry out, goldfinches will eat the seeds. It isn't blooming right now, but this is a coreopsis, and you can see it's covering the ground. And it's attracting all kinds of little bees. This tall plant right here, this is another Blackeyed Susan. This is Rudbeckia triloba, and it has the really small flowers. And this will reseed all over the place. So if you ever get it, put it where you want it, and keep an eye on it from year to year so that it doesn't take over your yard. This is the most special, most important plant, as far as I'm concerned, in this bed, because this is butterfly weed. This is the host plant for the monarch butterfly. This one is a Scrappiest Tuberosa. You used to see this growing all over the sides of the ditches everywhere. And what I'm excited about is it has gone to seed. And as you can see, the brown things on the end are the seeds, and they have a little silky parachute. And when the wind catches them, they'll blow them everywhere. So that is how it disperses, is by the wind. This is black and blue salvia. It's just starting to bloom. They call it black and blue because it has a black calyx and it has a bright blue blossom. Hummingbirds absolutely adore this. Even though it's not red, they still love the black and blue salvia. Right back here, along the back, we've got phlox, old-fashioned garden phlox. You can see some of it is blooming. And we have our butterfly bush is also in the center there. Right over here. It's kind of bent over, like I said. We had some rain this morning, so everything's kind of damp. All right. Next, we're going to move over to our culinary herb garden. This is our culinary herb garden. We have a border here of garlic chives, and usually our garlic chives are in full bloom at this time of year and are covered up with butterflies. For some reason, it's not doing too well this year. And there goes one of our bullfrogs. This is dill. It's pretty much past it, but it's gone to seed. Hopefully we'll get some dill seedlings in here next year. This is our thyme. Creeping thyme. It's a great ground cover, very aromatic, and of course it's great to use to cook with, especially with chicken. Right here we have oregano, and it's blooming also. And it's a perennial in here. Right next to it is our pineapple sage. And this will bloom, start blooming next month, and it will bloom while the hummingbirds are getting ready to migrate south. And it has beautiful red blossoms. Step over here. This is our lavender. And this is a cultivar called Phenomenal, and it has done really well in here. A lot of people have trouble growing lavender in our area, but this is on a little bit of a slope, and it's very happy here. And this cultivar also was bred to tolerate our heat and humidity. So Phenomenal lavender, it's a great lavender to grow. right in here, this is marjoram. It's a cousin of oregano, and it's making some seed heads. Last but certainly not least is our tea herb bed. This is the smallest bed, but we have herbs in here that you can dry and you can use in teas. This beautiful grass right here is lemongrass. Lemongrass, you can cut it and dry it. It has a really nice mild lemon flavor. A lot of people use the roots in Asian cooking. It makes kind of a stalk sort of like an onion. But you can use it in cooking. Of course, we have more lemon balm here at the corners. Like I said, that stuff goes everywhere. And what is probably, I would say, when our children come here, their favorite is apple mint. This apple mint, of course, is in full bloom, and as you can tell, it's very popular because there are bees and butterflies buzzing all over it. The cool thing about apple mint is you can make teas out of it, but you can also, what I always do for the children when we give a tour of the gardens to them, is you can take a leaf and you can rub it and you smell it, and it kind of smells like juicy fruit. And they always get a kick out of it. But that's apple mint, and as you can see, it'll take over too. Anything in the mint family will. But these, you can always cut them back, and if you're growing them for tea, you can keep them in check by keeping them cut. But this is our summertime pollinator and herb garden, and of course the pollinators love us. Sherry has a butterfly hitching a ride on her now, and they'll light on your head and your face and your arms. But as you can see, they're busy as bees out here. So the grounds are open from 9 a.m. until dark. Please come enjoy the trail, enjoy the herb gardens, and be sure and check us out on Facebook, because we have all types of videos out there now, nature videos and art videos. So check us out on Facebook and come enjoy the grounds at the museum.